Hello there. Hello, Winnie Sam here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are all doing well and the Lord has kept you. We are grateful for Him for bringing us this far, for the gift of life and everything that He has done for us. I'm still in the village, just taking a walk, and I thought today we want to talk about something very important. Most of the time we take those things to be common, kama vitu za kawaida tu, but we are supposed to be very grateful to God and that we should not take them for granted. Hii place niko is not far from home. You can see it's a hilly place, iko na mawe mingi. Yeah, this is where we take a walk, especially during the evening or very early in the morning. Yeah. So today I'm going to talk about things that we should be grateful to God and that we should not take them for granted. There are very many things that we are not supposed to take for granted, but today I choose to talk about just a few. First of all, I want to thank God and thank all of you who watch my channel, who have already subscribed. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you so much for those who keep sharing. I really appreciate your love. Yeah. So there are many things that this place is so cool. Oh, I love it. So there are many things that we are not supposed to take for granted. There is a very big stone there. What? That one is so big. Yeah. That I can't get inside there. I can't reach. It's so big. So those things, one of those things that we are not supposed to take for granted, even though they just look normal, vitu za kawaida, is gift of life. If you are healthy, God has kept you, uko salama. You know, there are people who are really struggling with different conditions, ama sickness, that they totally depend on medication in order for them to survive. But if God has given you good health, you are doing well, you should not take it for granted. That's why you should take good care of yourself. Have you ever gone to a hospital? You find that you thought you are very sick, and then you realize ukifika huko there are people who are very sick more than you do. Hapo ndio unafikiri unasema basi I'm not sick. Even me, I remember there was a time I went to the hospital. I thought I was very, very, very sick, but when I reached there, nika find there were people who are in a very critical condition. Na nikasema hapana, I don't need to go to a doctor. Let me just go back home. From that time, nikakuwa sawa. I didn't go to see the doctor. So when you have good health, thank God for it. And if in case you are struggling with some sicknesses or conditions, may God visit you and send His healing, because through His stripes we are healed. And may He send His word and bring healing to you. Another thing that we should never take for granted is gift of parents. If you have parents, really thank God for them, because they mean a lot to us. At first, I used to take it for granted. I used to see it as kitu ya kawaida until I lost all of them. They went to be with the Lord. May their soul rest in peace. When I lost all of them is when I realized there is a big gap they left, and there is no one who can fill that gap. After I stayed for long with their phone call numbers in my phone, nikifikiria maybe they will come back. Yeah. I really miss them, nini. Sasa nikasema hata sometimes I wish if they were alive, but then it's the work of God. You can't correct God. If the time had come, may their soul rest in peace. Because I remember even now going to my home place, at time I find it difficult. Kama saizi where I am, I keep repeating that in the village. I can't assume that all of you know I'm in the village. This is where I'm married. So most of the time when it comes to going to my home place where I was born, I find it very difficult because both of my parents are not around. My home is a bit far. So every time I think of it, I feel so discouraged because I remember my parents, they used to call me, umefika wapi? Where are you? Nini. They could call me over 10 times before even I reach at home. And when I reach at home, kuna ile warm welcoming, you feel you are home, nini, they ask you if you're okay. Even at times they could send me bus fare in order for me to go home. So never take your parents for granted. Yeah? And most of the parents that we assume that ni pesa wanataka. No. Some of them don't even want your money. Some of them hawataki kitu ingine. They really appreciate if you visit them. That is, you are not staying with them, maybe in the city or in the village. Go visit them, appreciate them with the little you have. I know most of us, we are not the same. God has not blessed us the same. We are not at the same level. But if you have parents, always thank God for them. Always appreciate them. Always visit them. I discovered that even here where I'm married, whenever we come to visit our mother-in-law and father-in-law, they are always happy. They are not after what we have brought. Not that we are supposed to be that careless, we just come empty-handed. Of course, you cannot pay for all they did to you. They took you to school, they took good care of you. Now you are an adult. You cannot pay for that. The only best way you can pay for that is checking on them. Some of us, we are not even picking their call. It is so sad. I remember there was a time a certain lady in our church alikuwa anasema her children pick calls. Baka anasema, I'm not even after their money. I just want to know how they are doing. Are they okay? Yeah? And you discover that even when you come to the village most of the time to visit them, they are so happy. They can't go around telling people, hey, my son, my daughter came without nothing, empty-handed. No, they receive you like a prodigal son. It doesn't matter how long you have gone. Doesn't matter how empty-handed you come. They will still receive you. They will still give you that love. It makes them happy. That's why when they are in the village, they keep telling people that my daughter, my son is back. So always appreciate them, because no one can ever fill that gap. Yes, there may be people around you, your aunts, your uncle. I'm talking, that is if you lost maybe your parent, but those people can never fill that gap. I don't say that you don't appreciate them, you don't call them mom or dad. Yes, of course you call them. There are those who call their aunt mom or dad, they are caregivers. But when you think about your parents, I tell you, sometimes it's so hard. So it is good to take this advice with a lot of happiness and with a lot of caution. Yani, love them, love your parents. Go home. If you have never gone home for the longest time ever, if you have never called your parents, ama you think that every time I know sometimes there are parents, oh God forgive me, but there are parents who are at times are so nagging. They think those people are in city, we go through a lot, and there are those who don't understand. Don't get tired to explain to them. At times you think that when you don't pick their call is enough to tell them, my son, my daughter is not doing well. Yes, they will want whatever they want, but at times wanafika mahali nasema hapana, ni kama let me just try. Ni kama my son, my daughter hana kitu. Yeah. So always pick their calls, visit them with that little that you have, and kama hujakuwa ukiwatembelea, try and visit them, because God knew the reason why he gave them as your parents. Yeah. Another thing that we should never take for granted is when God has given you a good marriage, you are married, you are enjoying marriage. Even though marriage has a little challenges, of course marriage, by the way, marriage really works. I'm one of the people who can attest to that. So God has really given you a good marriage. You are enjoying the peace, everything in that marriage. Always be grateful to God. Don't say it's like it is your right for you to have that partner, or you are the best, you know how to choose the partner and all that. No, always appreciate God. There are people who are really struggling, and there are people who are really struggling. They are really praying hard to have spouses. They are really praying hard to be in a relationship. I don't say that they are not perfect to be in a relationship, or they will never be in a relationship. It's only that their time has not come, and their time will also come. You are wewe mwenye umetangulia, mwenye God amekubless, umetangulia mbele yao, God has given you a spouse, you are enjoying that marriage. Be grateful. Yeah? Keep the secret of that marriage. Don't take it for granted. Usichukue ni kama, after all, I'm doing, and never see it that this way, like you are doing your marriage partner, a favor. No, God brought you together as a woman and a man, husband and a wife, and so that you can bear fruit, so that you can stay in unity, so that you can stay together. So usionange kama mtu mwingine, your partner like a burden, ama you're like, I'm doing my partner a favor. Remember, there are people who don't have partners. Wanataka to. There was a time I was talking to a friend, and I think I've really taken long. I just need mtu yoyote tu to call a husband. Nikamwambia, don't say that. It's only that your time has not come. Yeah. And when your time will come, you will really enjoy it. Yeah. So that is the reason why you should always enjoy. Always thank God. No, don't take it for granted that God has blessed you with a beautiful marriage. Even those ones who are not married, their time will come and they will get married and they will enjoy it. Instead of taking it for granted, use that chance to encourage other people who are not yet there. Encourage them. This place is somehow hilly. That's why I had to sit down kidogo. So encourage them. Tell them marriage works. And even those who are passing through challenges and they are in marriages, encourage them. Advise them wisely. There are people who are like, when you are in an abusive marriage, instead of advising you, and by the God hates divorce, instead of advising you, the first thing they tell you is, what are you still doing in that marriage? Why are you still in that marriage? Imagine there are people who are staying this side. I don't know how wanakitanga huku na gari. Do they really use this? I doubt kabisa if they use. But there is another road the other side. Yeah. So unaambia mtu like, wewe, if ungekuwa mimi, I could have left that marriage. What are you still doing there? Pray for them, advise them, tell them good things, still encourage them. Let them know that marriage works. And then another thing that we should never take for granted, that is also part of marriage, having children, having the blessing of children. Children are blessings from the Lord. They're not a curse, they are blessings. And blessings do not bring pain, but brings joy. So when God has blessed you with children, thank God for those children. I came to discover that at first, when you have never been pregnant ama when you are still young, uonangi kama the issue with hapa most of the time I can imagine the stone can fall. When you have never been pregnant, carried a child, ama fathered a child or mothered a child, at first unaonanga ni kitu ya kawaida. Going to labor, carrying that baby for 9 months in your womb, ama becoming a father of that child, ni kitu ya kawaida. Never take it for granted because these are people's sperms. Yeah. So most of the time those who wanalisha ng'ombe, they come this side kukaa huku, kutulia huku, but the bushes are not that safe because this place is a semi-arid place. Sometimes kunakuanga na snakes. That's why you have to be careful, but the environment looks so cool. Yeah, the breeze here is so nice. Yeah. So unaona, unasema ati having children is just normal. Yeah, going to hospital, giving birth to that child, ama bringing up a child mpaka anafika age ya nao anaweza jitegemea, you feel like Sasa mimi ndio ile msee, mimi ndo najua juu kama niko na mtoi ama you start laughing at other people wenye hawana watoi. Having children is totally God's work. No one knows how children are formed in the womb. No one knows how they are living. What is this? I was so scared. I thought it's something that was going to bite me. Oh, it's green. Yeah, I've never seen that. I don't mean to scare you, but there was a time I was in the bush. I saw a green snake. I was so scared. That's why you can see I'm carrying a stick. Even this one, what can it even really do? Imagine. Yeah? I'm just imagining that inaweza msaidia mtu. Yeah. So unapata ati unasema watoto wakikuja ni wangu, mimi naweza, niko na uwezo, naenda najifungua. Alafu pia kuna ile weakness when God has blessed you with children. Sometimes it's good to watch your words. Imagine by the way you tell people, bado unangoja same to marriage, unazanga mtu, what are you still waiting for? Those words sometimes they hurt people. You don't know what they are going through. You don't know, maybe wamekuwa wakitamani mtoto. Kama there was a friend alikuwa stayed for long without a child for more than 8 years. People were asking her every day, what is not happening? I remember siku moja akaniambia, people don't know what I'm going through. I really miss to have children. I really miss to have children, but people, they don't understand. But akavumilia tu, with the time God blessed her, akapata watoi. So just be nice with your words, be polite, just understand. That's why God has given us eyes, by the way. It's not a must you use your mouth. You can even use your eyes. Sometimes unajudge tu, unasema maybe time yake hajafika. You don't need to ask him or her, we mbona this place is bush. Now imagine there are people who are staying this side na they wanapita tu usiku going to their place, and they are not scared. It's called the village. Yeah. So unauliza mtu unakuwa tu kind like your words. Naelewa unasema, if I go with this road kapaka mwisho, I may find there is a river down there. but sitafika huko. One of these fine days I'm going to go. It's a very big river. It goes to Tana River. Down kabisa. Yeah, so it is good. It's always good to watch your mouth and ambia mtu. Just be nice, just be polite. You don't need to. And if you really want to ask, use wisdom. Ask pole pole vizuri, unaelewa, so that you don't hurt that person. Yeah, it is very painful to ask. It is. I don't want to go this side, Darudi, because it's somehow far, and it is getting somehow it's going to get dark. So unauliza mtu, lakini hata ukimuuliza, ask him or her vizuri tu, and then hakutakuwa na shida. Another thing that we should never take for granted is, if God has blessed you with a job, especially in this generation that we are in right now. People say that in order for you to get a job, you must have connection, you must have gone to school, umesoma sana. Yes, that is what people think. But when you have God, He's the best connection you can ever have. So in this era that you are living in, unaweza pata a graduate. The other time I was watching news many years ago, I was watching news. There was a certain man from university who had already graduated, and now there was no job. He resulted to choma mahindi, maize in the street because there was no job kabisa. And the only profit saa zingine angepata ni 50 bob per day. Imagine. So when God has given you a job, always thank God for him. Don't take it for granted. There are people who are working every day looking for job. Hata hiyo kidogo uko nayo, don't curse. Don't take it for granted that ni kawaida. I'll just wake up in the morning, I'll go to work. Thank God if you have a job. And also work hard. If you are given a job to do it with all your heart. Usikuwe ni wewe ni yule mtu mwenye you are being paid more but you work less. That is being unfair to your boss. Can you imagine if you put your place in your boss' shoes? Yeah, if you put your place in your boss' shoes and now you are paying a worker who is not performing. Now by the way, we thank God for our bosses because mara mingi wanatuvumilia sana. Yeah, always thank God for if you have a job, and also always thank God if you can be able to put food on the table. Always thank God for that. Thank you so much for watching. I know we are going to continue together. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and may the Almighty